mother and only parent, died 2 years ago.
I just miss her so much.
From that day on, I swore, at all costs, I'm protecting them.
And then things got worse.
Yeah, I was basically defeated. I had nowhere to go.
Life went from bad to unbearable after that big freeze hit Texas last year. The pipes burst in their house, the one their mother left them, and ruined everything.
Some strange times.
Then a contractor Jalen hired to fix it took their life savings and ran off.
Tragic, isn't it?
The boys were pretty much homeless, living with their last surviving close relative, when a nonprofit called Katie Responds caught wind. The group fixes up houses after natural disasters. Over the years, they've helped more than 100 families, but few more worthy than those boys.
Yeah, it breaks your heart.
Had to help.
Had to.
Executive Director Ron Peters.
They had no idea people would want to jump in and help them.
Which may explain their jaw-dropping, literally speechless reaction.
I was overwhelmed.
Thanks to an army of donors and volunteers, the brothers are finally and forever back in their mother's house. Fully renovated, better than ever. And although no builder could ever patch the hole in their heart, Katie Responds did the next best thing.
There's just so many nice people in this room right now, and it makes me so happy.
When their mother died, Julian and Jalen thought all they had was each other. But they were wrong by one whole community.
Sunday morning on CBS News Radio continues in a moment.
Powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. This is New York's only 24-hour source for breaking business news and market-moving headlines. Bloomberg 1130. Now, a global news update.
Republican Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, says 2 recent flights taking migrants from Texas to Martha's Vineyard are just the beginning. DeSantis says he's doing it to put the issue on the front burner for sanctuary cities who he says don't directly bear the brunt of people arriving at the border. Officials in the UK are expecting up to 1 million to visit central London during the Queen's funeral Monday. The head of London's transportation network says they're ready for one of the busiest days they've ever seen. The British military is suggesting Russia has stepped up attacks on civilian infrastructure in Ukraine. In Kyiv, Julia Chapman reports Moscow's retaliating for its setbacks recently on the battlefield.
Overnight, the mayor of the southern city of Mykolaiv says a hospital was damaged in an attack. There are fears that Russia could escalate the conflict after finding itself on the back foot.
A tsunami alert's been issued in Taiwan after a magnitude 6.9 earthquake hit the island's coastline. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake was centered in southeastern Taiwan. I'm Scott Carr.
You're listening to CBS Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley on Bloomberg Radio.
It's Sunday morning on the radio.
Our commentary comes from journalist Rachel Aviv. Her new book, Strangers to Ourselves, focuses on the challenges faced by those struggling with mental illness.
When I talk to people with mental illness, I'm often struck by how hard it is for them to communicate what it feels like. Once a young woman told me that trying to describe her symptoms was like trying to explain what a bark sounds like to someone who's never heard of a dog. Another person who had just been diagnosed with schizophrenia told me she studied her diagnosis in the DSM, the Manual for Mental Disorders. Her experience of illness felt so hard to pin down that she worried she was inadvertently adjusting her own behavior to fit the way it had been classified. For some people, getting a diagnosis and being told that they have a brain-based disorder can feel healing and liberating. But we may overlook the role of these explanations in our lives. They can shape our identities and our expectations for the future. Like the people I've written about, I've also gone through a period of illness that felt nearly impossible to classify. When I was 6, I stopped eating for 3 days, and my pediatrician put me in a hospital that treated patients with anorexia who were more than a decade older than me. I became especially close with one of them, whom I saw as a kind of mentor. As an adult, I learned about the path that her life had taken after we were hospitalized. And I was shaken first to discover how similar our stories were at the time. And second, to realize how our lives had veered in such different directions. Our outcomes seemed tenuous and perhaps arbitrary. I felt as if she could have lived my life, or I could have lived hers. Psychiatrists have a limited understanding of why one person's illness becomes a kind of life sentence, and another person with the same diagnosis moves on. Answering this question, I think, requires that we pay more attention to the individual stories to which people find meaning for themselves. There are stories that save us and stories that trap us. And in the midst of an illness, it can be very hard to know which is which.
Sunday morning on CBS News Radio continues after this. Traffic and weather on Bloomberg 1130. The delays should ease out in the next few minutes over at the George Washington Bridge. That accident on the lower roadway right at center span has been cleared. Still very heavy on the Cross Bronx West from at least 3rd Avenue right out to the George Washington Bridge. Deegan North jammed from 149th up to the Cross Bronx and the Harlem River Drive. Heavy from the 150s on up to the GWB. Bronx River Parkway closed Yonkers to White Plains till 2 this afternoon with Bicycle Sundays. Sunny for the rest of the day, 85. Right now it's 71. For tomorrow, partly sunny, maybe an isolated shower, 85. Tuesday, sunny and 80. Sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag, a deal worth celebrating. Your choice of a double-stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink, all for $5. U.S. price and participation may vary. I'm Steve Michaels with the best ride in and out of the city. Bloomberg 1130. Now Bloomberg Sports.
The Giants' first-round pick is really confident he'll be making his NFL debut this afternoon against the Carolina Panthers. Kayvon Thibodeau was limited this week in practice as he recovers from a sprained right MCL. New York hoping to start the season 2-0 for the first time since 2016. The Jets are in search of their first win of the year. New York taking on the Browns Sunday in Cleveland. Also today, the Patriots visit the Steelers, the Dolphins visit the Ravens, and the Cardinals visit the Las Vegas Raiders. That's your Bloomberg Sports. I'm Seth Evans.
Thanks for making us part of your Sunday morning routine. This is CBS Sunday Morning on Bloomberg Radio.
This segment of CBS Sunday Morning on the radio is brought to you by AMAC.
It's Sunday morning on the radio, and here again is Jane Pauley.
This week here on CBS, The Amazing Race hits the starting block for its 34th season, this time from Munich, Germany. Our Tracy Smith was invited to suit up and put her own amazing skills to the test.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Okay, would you jump off a 700-foot dam for a chance at $1 million?
Am I connected?
Yes, it's terrifying.
Wait.
But it's just another day on The Amazing Race. In the past 21 years, the CBS reality show has taken more than 600 intrepid souls on a race around the world, 2 by 2. It's a global odyssey that tests the limits of their endurance.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Wait, they jump at you. The bounds of their dignity.
I can't make him go over there. I don't want another word coming out of your mouth. Oh my God, I hate you.
And the strength of their relationship. And as with just about any game show, you can't help but wonder what you'd do if you were in their shoes. It was in that spirit that I went along last May for the start of season 34.
This is the way to travel.
Before the pandemic, the teams flew commercial airlines. But for safety's sake, they now use this chartered 757.
I mean, we've just never done it before.
Phil Coben's been the host for all 34 seasons.
It's a nice change-up, and maybe after 2 decades of doing the show, we'll take it. Yeah.
We knew we were bound for Munich, but none of the contestants aboard had a clue.
I just think it's wild that we're looking at them. They have no idea.
No idea where they're going. I mean, can you think of anybody who gets on a plane and literally has no idea where they're going? Can you imagine?
But they could sense that things were about to get kind of hectic.
I would like to officially welcome you to the start of your amazing race here in Munich, Germany.
The man in the red ball cap is executive producer Bertram von Munster. He's directed just about every minute of every leg of every race since it began in 2001. Von Munster is especially close to this lady, co-executive producer Elise Dauvignier. You might know that they're married and have traveled the world together in the name of great TV. You might not know that she's the one who thought this whole thing up.
So let's go back to the beginning. This was originally your idea? Yeah, The Amazing Race originally was my idea. And it came out of a backpacking trip that I took with my roommate in college. And, you know, when I instantly had this idea for this show, I thought if we put people who know each other together, there's definitely going to be drama. How could you do it? How could you?
And what's happened since is TV history.
She should have left it. We should have gone. We would have been here. Jonathan, I think you probably should go and talk to Victoria.
The Amazing Race has become a perennial favorite on this network's schedule.
And the Emmy goes to
The Amazing Race.
The winner of 10 Emmys for Best Competition Show, more than any other.
Well, I really didn't expect this.
In 21 years of production, the race has been to nearly 100 countries, logging well over 1 million miles, and counting.
Did you envision this? No. I mean, the first season we filmed the show, I was working in advertising. I took a leave of absence. I said to Bertram, should I quit my job? We sold the show. He said, no. Don't quit your job. It's television. You never know if it's going to get renewed or canceled. And then the show got picked up, and I said, Bert, what do you think? And he goes, you should quit your job. And so we took a risk.
But now, 34 seasons in, Von Munster says it all still makes him as nervous as ever.
So last night, did you sleep?
No, except maybe 3 hours.
Because you're thinking,
I was thinking,
what's coming next?
even after all these years,
It's a lot of details.
it's a lot of details, but I love it. As they say, the devil is in the details.
And there are a lot of details. For the Munich leg alone, the racers had to complete not one, but 3 tasks, all inspired by October.
Roll a beer keg through an obstacle course in under 1 minute, soar through a log, and smash an enormous block of ice. Once complete, they'll have the 3 parts of a clue they need to find me at the pit stop. If you've not completed a course and need a lot of time, you must go to the back of the line.
Turns out the Amazing Race producers do a test run the day before, rain or shine, to make sure a task is safe and actually doable.
Go!
And for this leg of the race only, they let me and my producer,
Come on, baby.
also my husband, John D'Amelio, do the honors.
Come here.
Yeah, go ahead and laugh. I'd like to see you try this. The log sawing went a little better.
We got that, honey.
You must feel the wood.
You must feel the wood.
Okay, feel the wood, baby. Your dog. Thank you.
And the ice block challenge was something else. The idea was to patiently chip at the ice until you found a tiny gold puzzle piece. But my producer is not exactly a patient man.
John, where is the...
After our test, they took away the big mallet.
Oh, ta-da!
Great job.
That's really cool.
You are a mean striker. Wow.
In fact, the producers often make adjustments before the race begins. But once it starts, there are no do-overs. Ever.
There's no stopping. It's always go, 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 go. We don't interfere. We don't do second takes. Never do second
No
takes.
second take.
No second takes. Absolutely not. Because we do it. It's a game show.
Yeah, it's a game show, but some of the locations are truly, well, amazing. And you never know when a priceless moment is going to happen.
Isn't this crazy right now? This is like
I
bells
love
all
it.
around us.
It's beautiful. Look at this over here. It's incredible.
The best bell ringers in all of Munich. Here just for you. Cacophony of Munich bell ringing.
It was a rare minute of calm. But the next morning,
Inside the envelope are 3 addresses for the 3 challenges that you need to complete.
it was time to do what they came for. Before the start, the camera crews stretch like distance runners, getting ready for the mad dash to come. And then, finally, Phil Kogan says the words that every contestant is straining to hear.
The world is waiting for you. Good luck. Travel safe.
Of course, we can't tell you which team finished first in episode 1. You can find out later this week. We can tell you that the race started as planned and that it was as wild as ever.
34 seasons in, the show has not been eliminated. Why do you think the show survived?
Our backdrop of the world is forever changing. We're never going to run out of locations to film in. And it's super entertaining. It's humorous. We're kind of laughing at ourselves, but also traveling the world and getting to see places that you may never get to see, in your lifetime. I see it.
For the contestants,
Wow.
even the pretend ones, it's a chance to learn a little bit about the world
You're not on the race, and I'm not sure whether you know that.
and themselves in ways they never thought possible. And for the creators of the show, you get the sense it's all still pretty amazing for them, too.
We thought maybe we'd get 2 seasons. Maybe it would be 1 season. Never in a million years did I think that we'd be still doing this.
Sunday morning on the radio continues in a moment.
Breaking business news from Sydney to Tokyo to Hong Kong. Bloomberg Daybreak Asia.
I'm Brian Curtis. And I'm Doug Krisner. How will Japan's CPI print impact this week's decision from the BOJ?
And will China's loan prime rates remain steady? We'll track the announcement from the People's Bank of China.
Bloomberg Daybreak Asia. Tonight at 6 on Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com. Bloomberg. The world is listening.
Returning to London on September 28th, the Bloomberg Technology Summit will bring together Europe's top business leaders, innovators and investors to discuss the strategies fostering growth and innovation. In a world grappling with social, economic and political transformation, how can unprecedented digitization help companies thrive in this new environment? Speakers include executives from Copper, Darktrace and DST Global. Learn more at bloomberglive.com/TechLondon2022.
Looking to fast forward your practice goals? Commonwealth Financial Network can help you evolve your business by providing entrepreneurial capital, affiliation flexibility, and tailored business strategies. Everything you need to put your practice in the fast lane. Welcome to a better path to success. Welcome to Commonwealth. To learn more, visit commonwealth.com. Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC. A registered investment advisor.
Dear Calvary Hospital, no parent should ever have to go through the heartbreak of the death of a child. When my son Warren's inoperable cancer gave him just months to live, Calvary came into our lives and relieved his physical pain and my emotional stress.